siguradong familiar na sa salitang burnout. Very common kasi ito among professionals, yung feeling drained ka na dahil sa sobrang dami na mga kailangan mong gawin.
Siyempre, hindi ito maganda for our physical, emotional, and mental health because we often feel tired and we lack motivation in life. Pero alam niyo ba, pwede raw pala nating mabeat ang burnout by including some simple steps in our daily lives. Yan ang pag-usapan natin tonight dito sa ating Mars Sharing Group. Kasama si Sir Joseph Fernandez, ang ating special guest life coach.
Hi! Sir Joseph! Nako, eto nga. Here are some ways daw kung paano natin mabibeat ang burnout. First, share with us kung ginagawa nyo rin ba ito. Then we will ask Sir Joseph for his insights.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
Ito daw.
Una dyan, staying active. Malaki raw kasi ang nagagawa na physical activity to improve your mood. Kayo ba, do you maintain a specific physical activity or sport net to beat stress and burnout? Mars,
I find, especially after traveling, so nandiyan yung jet lag, di ba? I try to do a light workout para pagod ka na sa gabi, mapipilitan kang paghiga mo, tulog ka na.
Oo.
Diba?
Pero regularly, meron ka talagang
I
workout
try
routine.
as much as I can, pero sometimes I have to admit I get so busy or so puyat from taping, from shooting, na mas dangerous pang mag-workout ka kaysa magpahinga na lang. So, minsan, napapadalas na yung, or napapahaba yung time na yon. And then, mas lalo ka ngang nababurn out kasi wala kang release ng stress and tension from the day. And also for actors, especially stage actors or film actors, whatever, sometimes when the role is very heavy, you have to have some kind
stamina.
Outlet.
Yes,
outlet, some kind of release.
Release
Kasi
din, okay.
kunyari yung character mo, bad, masungit, sumisigaw, or siraulo, alam nga naman pag uwi mo, dinadala mo yon, di ba? So, physical exercise is one thing, but another one is like light meditation, yung mga stress buster, or make a conscious choice in your mind to release all the work and all the emotions that you've carried during the day.
Correct.
Para pag uwi, at saka sa bago matulog, wala na.
May pagpag.
Kumbaga parang,
May
nag-debrief ka. Sa ginawa mo the entire day, may debriefing kumbaga.
Ikaw, Mark, bilang ikaw magtutulong ng workout mamaya.
Oo nga eh.
Have you always been athletic or sporty?
Nagsimula ako nung nag-showbiz ako, which was basically 2007. Yung mga roles nga, just like Miss Pinky said, usually bad boy ako dahil may tattoo ako, rapist, addict.
Ganon.
Masyado yung tinatype kasi.
Oo nga eh. Mabait naman ako Pero yun nga, so because of that, just misal na pag may segue, for me kasi, some people, they prefer meditation just to release, to relax the nerves, to empty everything again. Yung akin naman, I find, kasi impatient akong tao. So I ever since that time, 2007, 2008, nababox ako until now. Pero para lang matamaan yung sobrang fatigue, na pagod ka na, nawala ka nang iniisip. So that by the time you have to do it the next
That's a
day.
lot of workout.
It's a lot of workout.
It's very tiring,
So
yung boxing.
I mean, it began as vanity, and I'm just being honest. And then after a while, naging parang therapy ko na yun eh. Parang release lang,
Hinahanap na rin ng katawan mo eh.
Kahit pagod na pagod ako, and I have work the next day, yung alam ko kailangan ko mag-relax, I have to go to the gym na, just to turn off my brain.
Mars, very active until of course when you got pregnant.
Ako, I remember, there was parang nung unang-unang time na napagsabay ko yung Mars tsaka soap. So, every day, I would tape Monday to Friday. Tapos, nawala yung workout. Kasi nga, wala nang time to do that. Ang napansin ko, nag-start ako ng 6:05 a.m.
Wow.
Mga 8 p.m. pa lang, plastado na ako. Hindi na kaya.
Wow.
Tapos pagod na yung katawan ko. Yung isip ko, hirap na ako mag-memorize. Tapos parang hinang-hina na. Kasi like, there's something wrong with this setup kasi parang hindi ako tatagal eh. Kasi kung Lunes pa lang ngayon, Sabado pa yung pahinga ko, medyo malayo pa siya. So, tinry ko siyang gawa ng paraan na pag na-achieve ko yung ganitong oras or yung Tuesday, Thursday, nag-squeeze in ako yung workout. Nung pinasok ko siya, kahit 30 minutes lang, na-notice ko yung Monday, Wednesday, Friday ko na full day, hanggang 12 midnight, okay pa. Mas maganda yung mood ko. Buti na lang na-realize ko na parang ipasok ko kaya to kahit konti lang or kahit konting cardio lang, para lang may konti lang na, hindi yung parang,
mapawisan lang.
Kasi kung jeta ka lang, wala kang galaw at all eh. So yun yung napansin ko, Mars, umayos ako ulit.
Dahil doon. Buti naisip ko kasi other people will think, of course you're working 2 jobs. And then syempre, what you need more of is rest.
Yes.
Pero totoo din, when I realized also na yun yung naglala, kasi dati lagi ako may sakit. As in, well, I've always been athletic since I was young, pero nag-anak kami na 3 sunod-sunod. sobrang pagod. Tapos I had 2 shows also. First time ko nagkaroon ng second show na matagal, yung full-time moms. I was always sick. Tapos nahiya na ako kasi si Irene, yung aming associate producer, sabi niya sa akin, girl, lagi ka may sakit. Tapos nahiya naman ako, sabi ko, parang nagdadala ako ng sakit sa taping namin. So because of that, parang sabi ko, there's something missing then. I was so tired. And then syempre pag uwi, marami pa akong anak at asawang kaalagaan.
Another job.
Sobrang stretch na stretch siya talaga. Tapos yun, I started running. And I noticed I wasn't getting sick anymore. And then I could stretch my day longer and my mood was better. So, exercise, how often should people do it to be able to balance a good mood?
Well, unang-una, I guess we could agree in the common ground na exercise talaga. Whether you're working out in a gym, you're swimming, you're walking, is very helpful, no? Marami siyang studies. And I would say, katulad ni Camille, no? During the week, kahit magsingit ka lang ng pasundot-sundot, maglakad ka, walk your dogs, or breathing exercises kahit man lang bago ka matulog, no? It's very relaxing to your head. Kasi minsan kahit nakapikit ka na, ang ingay ng utak natin. So, I mean, the keyword here is physical activity. It could be workout, it could be boxing, katulad kay Parsumar, kay Ma'am Pinky. And dapat meron tayong physical outlet para ma-recharge tayo. No? Sobrang dami natin ginagawa. And sabi nga ng studies, karamihan sa ating burnout is mostly parang physical-based lang. So dapat bawian din natin ng physical activity. Again, it could be working out, could be boxing, could be walking, could be running. So kahit ano man yan, kung ano yung fit sa personality mo or sa lifestyle mo, it really help rejuvenate and recharge you sa your activities physically.
Kailangan gusto mo rin siya kasi baka naman you're dragging your feet din papunta dun sa workout mo, bad trip ka rin sa kanya. Dapat medyo looking forward ka rin sa kanya.
Although, syempre, sa umpisa, mahirap talaga kung hindi mo siya nakasanayan. But eventually, you'll feel changes in your body, in your mood. So maybe you're doing a good thing for yourself.
Agree.
O, ito naman. Taking comfort in silence. Sometimes you have to take time down to meditate and just stay in silence and not think about anything. It can help you feel less anxious daw.
I used to practice a very simple meditation when I was with this meditation group. It's from India, and it was so simple. But when you go to a class at the end of the week, marami kayo, tapos may one-on-one kayo, nagme-meditate lang kayo. It's about 20 minutes, pero I noticed nung time yun, talagang grabe yung focus ko. At the start of the day is very important. If you have time, even 5, 10, 20, it will lengthen itself naturally.
Right.
But to just quiet yourself and just breathing exercise, and listen to your breath, and then try to silence
Empty your mind.
But then that helps you. It's like readjust towards the day. Yun. Kaya lang lately, wala na rin akong time magkano. So, sana maibalik. Sana maibalik.
Sa dami ng gagawin in a day.
Focus.
How do people empty their minds in this super fast-paced world?
We have really a lot of books out there in the bookstore. You can have self-help books. Paano nga ba mag-breathing exercise? Paano nga magpanahimik? And I would have to admit, kahit ako, no, kahit matutulog ka na, ang ingay pa rin ng isip ko, na pa rin iniisip. So, find a perfect fit for your lifestyle. Kasi, again, iba-iba tayo. But then again, very scarce na nowadays yung quiet time, no? It gives you perspective kasi. Minsan, masyado tayong focus sa trabaho, masyado tayong focus sa family, nawalan tayo ng selflessness. Kumbaga, puro tayo iniisip natin. So, I really agree na, yun nga, i-consult, actually marami na tayo sa commercial out there, no, na mag-consult ka ng isang specialist on how to breathe properly, on how to be quiet. And yes, it really helps us be more, I would say, rejuvenated. So, it really is very helpful for us to, in a very fast-paced world, especially with technology, na magkaroon ng quiet time.
Ito daw, investing on positive relationships. Dapat din daw kasi pinipili natin mabuti kung saan natin ini-invest ang oras natin. Surrounding yourself with toxic relationships are great contributors daw kasi sa burnout. Paano ba kayo umiiwas sa toxic na mga tao at relationship?
Mahirap yan.
Paano sila iiwan?
O biglang napainom.
Mahirap yan.
Napainom si Mark. Ayun, go.
Paano kayo, how will you do this? Lalo na kung katrabaho nyo.
Yun na nga di ba, normally.
Artists. Oh my gosh.
I guess it's important to be able to zone out. You know how they say zoning out is something negative?
Correct.
Pero kung sa ikabubuti mo naman, tsaka parang sa sanity mo rin naman na parang kailangan tumahimik ka. Or like I'm doing a play now, in between shows when we have 2 shows, 3 kaming babae sa dressing room, edi syempre, chika to the max. May time din kami na, after eating, pagod na kami, parang may time din na parang 20-30 minutes where we're just by ourselves and we respect each other's silence.
That's good.
Pero hindi lahat ng makakasama mo.
Ganon.
Ikaw, Mark, paano?
Yung toxic na tao sa akin, avoid.
Alright.
And then,
Paano kung ka-work mo?
Yun.
Or ka-eksena mo.
Yun.
Paano
So,
yun?
for me, yung number 1 rule is be nice. If the person is toxic, it doesn't mean you should be toxic. And then I find that niceness goes a long way.
It does.
And it's different from being plastic. Or okay, diplomatic.
yan,
Nice, yun na lang
nice,
yan.
nice.
Yan,
Diplomatic goes a long way. So sa akin, it doesn't mean that you have to be toxic too. And
In other words, wag kang magpa-apekto.
Huwag kang mahawa.
kumakain mo. So, hence, you should be confident, that was the word, or mindful of yourself. Kasi kung kilala mo yung sarili mo, no matter how bad things get, where you are, who you're with, you will be fine. Just to find that center, whatever that is. So, just being nice.
Nice.
Ganda, positive.
Joseph, paano ba namin to maiiwasan ba? Yung mga nega?
Well, it is really true na meron talaga mga tao sa buhay natin na talagang they suck the energy out of our lives, di ba? But I would have to agree with Mark over here, na parang you have to shut them off na lang, you know? And if they are a douche to you, you don't have to be a douchebag. Kasi parang you cannot change how they treat you, but you can change how you treat them.
How you react.
And by doing that, you maintain a sort of self-respect, dignity na, ay, hindi ako sustup level sa level niya. So kapag pumatol sa kanya, parang, ay, pareho kaming douchey, pareho kaming So, dapat be mindful of who you are, be confident of who you are, and then you can avoid these types of people parang barging on you. Talagang toxic sila, no? Minsan hindi natin maiiwasan. So, be mindful and be confident of who you are, and then do not stoop down to their level sa ating So, yun, I guess, would be one of the most important tips na tatandaan natin. Meron sila pinagdadaanan, huwag kang papatol sa pagka-douche nila. I guess it comes with age na rin, no?
Yun
Papagod ka rin eh. Wala pa akong ibang gawain.
Exactly. Marami ka pang iba kailangan pagtuunan ng pansin.
Right.
Diba?
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
Super. Hindi mapigilan tong abat na ito, diba? Those are just simple steps to feel better, not just about your work, but also in life. At gaya na nabanggit namin kanina, beating burnout involves getting active. Kaya simulan na ang pagiging fit. Dahil ituturo naman sa atin ni Pars ang personal workout niya sa pagbabalik ng Mars